funny. I heard Howie Long earlier today on some show this morning early, and he was talking about how that game, that he and a couple of other their players couldn't even get to the game on time because the traffic was so bad. And that happened to us. Our bus was stuck in traffic, and we almost didn't get to the game in time to get dressed and get out and get warmed up.
I'm pretty sure they would have waited for you.
Yeah,
that's the one. A little different than a fan.
They wouldn't have had much choice. But but he was talking about that here they are walking the last 3 blocks to get to the stadium because their cab couldn't get them to the stadium.
That's amazing. That doesn't happen anymore.
It doesn't happen anymore.
Mark Mosley is with us, one of the great kickers in NFL history, Super Bowl champion with the Washington Redskins. Now you get police escorts everywhere.
Yes.
Yeah, they make sure that the NFL said, okay, enough of the traffic. If you're going to host the game,
we're going to get you there.
We're going to bring the local heat, the federales, to make sure that
we're going to get you there.
Everybody gets there on time. Tell me about Optimal Bowl. OptimalBowl.com is the website, and I know this is some of you veteran guys are going to get together. You're in great shape.
Well, I look like I'm in great shape,
okay.
but I do work out a lot. I've never stopped working out after I retired 25 years ago. I still run 6 or 7 miles every day and do a lot of I do probably 300-400 sit-ups and push-ups every morning and do some other stuff that I work out about 2 hours every day. But even with that, I'm still not in the kind of shape that I'd like to be. Fortunately, I'm from a family that my parents, my grandparents, all that lived to be in their 90s. Unfortunately, my dad was killed in an accident. He was 79 and working every day. He was killed on the job running a backhoe at 79. And so I want to be healthy if I'm going to live to be old. I want to be productive.
Yeah.
I want to be functional. I don't want people changing my diapers for me when I'm 90 years old if I'm going to live that old. So I think about that, and I've tried to keep myself in pretty good shape. But then I went and took some of these tests that these doctors are giving us that are really in-depth, some new techniques and things that they have now to test us. And so what they're doing is, like, I have type 2 diabetes.
Okay.
They're going to help me get to the point that I'm well enough that I can do away with what medicines I have to take to control my type 2 diabetes and eventually do away with my diabetes. And they feel like they can do that through nutrition, exercise, hormones, all the things that you got that kind of go wacky when you get old. I'm 65 years old now. I'm getting ready to be 66.
Well, you don't look it.
And I don't. Well, thank you. But I think it's very important because we've got a lot of guys out there, a lot of alumni that are fighting just to survive. Mm-hmm. And I think this is a good. If we can prove that you, through good health and through exercise and nutrition and stuff, can live a healthy, normal life as long as you want to, then it's going to help everybody. And we've got some SEALs even involved in this, some retired SEALs. So it's going to be for everybody. But if they go to that optimalbowl.com, they'll have a lot more information for them on that. It's very interesting. We actually are having a challenge where we're going to be tested and see who's made the most progress in this along the way here. And
I saw Carl Nelson earlier, who's in it as well. And you guys are going to have a tough time winning this, I would think, because you guys are already in pretty good shape.
That's going to be the real challenge, is because I told them at my age right now the way they want me to work out is a killer. I mean, it's really because I work out a lot, but the intensity they've got me on, the level that they have me at now is murder. And I said, at my age, I need to make sure that I can survive this.
Yeah.
So you got to get my nutrition and all the other aspects of this thing together. I'm willing to work hard, but I need to make sure the other two are working for me too to help me be able to work that hard. So it's going to be a real challenge, but it's going to be fun.
We're talking to Mark Mosley, outstanding kicker from the Washington Redskins. Also, I didn't even remember this. I didn't know, like many a kicker, that wasn't your first stop.
No, I was drafted by the Philadelphia Eagles in 1970 and played for them in 70. Was released my second year in the league, went to Houston, had to fight my way on to convince them that I could kick, and ended up with the Houston Oilers in 71, and then started 72 with Houston. And we had a new coach, Bill Peterson, who decided he didn't like me, so he cut me after the first game against Denver. And I was out for 2 years. I didn't play the rest of 72 and 73. I didn't play. I was kind of blackballed. Like no one would even talk to me. And then I got a call in February of 74 from George Allen, who remembered that I had kicked 4 field goals against his Redskins at RFK Stadium in 71 when I was with the Houston Oilers in a driving rainstorm. And he called me. They had to track me. They didn't even know where I was living.
Right.
Just so happened that Kenny Houston and I were good friends. Kenny lived in Lufkin, which was not far from me. Kenny told him where I was and got my phone number for him. And so I ended up coming to Washington and beating out about 12 other kickers that year for the job. And the rest is history. I was here for 12 years.
What do you think about where kicking's gone? The accuracy level and the distance? I mean,
it's an amazing improvement over the years. I was just doing another show over here with Jay Feely that kicks for the Cardinals.
Right.
And we were talking about that very thing, how the game's improved. Soccer guys have a lot more hitting surface down there, but the distance and they don't get the ball up like we did, but they get a lot longer field goals. They're a lot more accurate now. But also they're not kicking in the same elements that we kicked in outdoors in the snow and the rain and the sleet and all the stuff that we had to put up with back then. They're in domes now. And
the field turf's pretty consistent as well. Yeah.
So it makes a big difference.
Yeah, it absolutely does, Mark. We're talking to Mark Mosley wearing his Super Bowl ring. Pretty nice to wear that around here, isn't it?
It's nice to be one of the few that has that.
Yeah, it's a wonderful fraternity, and you can see the pride guys take in it.
A lot of players have gone through the National Football League over the years, but there's a small percentage that have the Super Bowl.
I'd have to look. Do you know the number? You might know.
I have no, but I just know that if you think about it, there's probably, 1,500, 2,000 players a year in the NFL on the teams.
And now 53. Back in the day, 45.
And you have one team that ends up, that's 50 players or 40. Back in my day, it was only 45.
40, yeah.
And that you had that made that got that ring.
Well, and how many of them that have a ring were also league MVP the year they won it?
Well, that's true too. I never thought about that.
You might. There's probably 3 or 4 of you guys, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I haven't even thought about that, but you're right.
Mark, let me. That's an exclusive club.
Yeah, that was my 15 minutes of fame.
15, a little more than 15, but it was an incredible season to say the very least. We're talking to Mark Mosley here in the program. All right, let me give you my final four quickies for you.
Okay.
If you were not a kicker, what would you have done? I kind of got that answer, I think, in that 2 years you weren't. I probably
would have been a quarterback. I was a quarterback in college and a defensive back. I played both ways. I have a grandson right now that's getting ready to sign a letter of intent to go to Lamar University down in Texas, and he's a quarterback and safety.
Okay.
And but I think that's probably what I would have been playing in defensive cornerback or safety or something of that nature, or a quarterback. I was a backup. I played for George Allen. I was the third-team quarterback for the Redskins for about 6 years.
Wow. So kickers are athletes too, is what we find out.
Yes, some of us.
How did you end up being a kicker? What made you say I want to give that a shot?
I just always could out-kick everybody. I never really concentrated on it until I was drafted as a kicker, and then I started really improving at it.
Okay.
And I bounced around. I was probably cut 6 times before I latched on with the Redskins and proved that I could be an NFL kicker. But I think before that, I just until I was drafted as a kicker, I really never concentrated on it that much. I just always played in other positions, and then when the kicker got time for kickers, I just go out and kick, and I always out-kicked everybody, so I ended up being the kicker.
All right. Should the Redskins change their name?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
I grew up with the Alabama Coshada Indians in East Texas. They were some of my best friends, and they have so much pride in the fact that I played for the Washington Redskins that it's remarkable. And all this hoopla that they're putting out there, there's such a small percentage of those Indians, of the Native Americans that are throwing this fit that it's ridiculous. Most of the Indians that I've ever met and know are proud that the Redskins have honored them with that.
Okay, and finally, what was the deal with your face mask? Man, couldn't they get that thing pushed up there the right way?
I didn't want anything in my face. I always wanted it. I wanted to have as little in my. Because I wanted to see the ball.
Right.
I wanted to see my foot hitting that football, and so I kept with that one bar face mask until I retired.
But it wasn't even one bar. You had it like tilted way down,
had it tilted way down. I almost didn't have any protection in front of me. And on kickoffs, they tried to take advantage of that lots of times. I came on with a lot of bloody noses.
Oh, well, I'll bet. Hey, Mark, thanks so much for the time. We appreciate it. Have a great weekend here at the Super Bowl.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm looking forward to it. It's a great day. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark.
You're welcome.
Thank you for your time. I appreciate it.